display network and Site Scout, Brian?
Yep.
Okay. So that lets us build our audience on those platforms too, and then we can follow them with advertising or just content links back to blog. So list building is not just email anymore, because, we see it ourselves when, 2 years ago, a year ago, it used to be really easy to get your emails through. Now it's becoming harder and harder as people are moving away from email and more on the social media platforms. So building your lists and those audience pixels is real important too.
I posted the link in there, and the normal cost of that one for Notification Pro is $30, but through that link you can get it for $9. It's a discounted link.
And then, Brian, with your offline clients, you also put in opt-in forms on their Facebook pages too?
Yeah, sure. We run all sorts of different apps for them on Facebook, and these can be anything from a contest app to a game or something like that. And then when people accept it for Facebook, it automatically gets their email for the client. So we create different things related to the business that would be interesting for their target market, and then collect leads that way.
Mm-hmm. I know Andy wanted to talk about that. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we can get him connected now. Don't know where he is in Spain is hanging him up. But one thing that we do to build our list is get our links onto other download pages. So, and this will work with whatever niche you're in, whether you're in health, offline businesses, online marketing. Getting your link onto other download pages, so you can essentially, co-regging. If you're signed up for anything, it says you may be interested in these newsletter also, and then you can trade back and forth to build your list. That's important to do. We call that, buyer's list bonus spots, but it's really been seen in any niche, and it's a way for you to leverage content everywhere. There we go, Andy.
Hey, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Yep.
Oh, what a struggle. That was lovely. Here we go then. Goodness. Glad to join you guys.
Yeah. All right, so let's get started. We finally got Andy on board. Got the claps coming in. Good deal. Yeah, Blab is great when it works, and when it doesn't, it's a nightmare.
Oh, dear. Yeah, all went wrong there. At least I can not hear myself constantly coming back down there. And then it went mad. I nipped over to Firefox, but of course we all know it doesn't work very well on that.
Yeah, but we wanted to talk about list building strategies today, and then Andy, we were just talking about how list building really means audience building, and how you can't just rely on email, but you kind of focus on some of the same stuff that we do, which is selling products, building lists, coaching. If you could just touch on and introduce yourself to the audience here.
Yeah, I'll just give a quick intro if you don't mind, and I'll keep it down to 45 minutes now. Yeah, my name's Andy Beveridge, and for those who don't know me, and I was born in the UK, as you can tell from my accent. Lived in France for 4 years when I went online. First went full-time online, and that was back in 2009, I think. I've been doing it a while. Yes, as you previously mentioned there, I do a lot of business coaching. I've been coaching for the last few years, doing mentoring programs and stuff, and I'm a big list builder in several niches, but mostly in the make money, the entrepreneurial internet marketing niche. Although this year I'm moving on a little bit, and reducing my time in that field and moving on to a business that my girlfriend named, Tracy Campanella. I think she's on with us today somewhere. She named it. It was a transformative thought, and I run it with my sister, and it's all about mindset and self-improvement. So it's a long time since I've been involved in that niche. It's where I belong, really. My background is in counseling, psychotherapy, life coaching, business mentoring. So it's a great area for me to move into, and we're quite new in this. So the list building side of things is actually starting all over again for me. So it's quite interesting that way, because things have changed. And you're quite right to mention sort of that email marketing, sort of the shift in email marketing. I get a lot of people coming through the door in coaching programs today that are worried about the whole, list building doesn't work anymore, which is just nonsense, because as we all know here, almost every business, almost every successful person that is offline and online builds some kind of subscriber base. We run our businesses through subscriber base. It's the lifeblood of almost all businesses. And we see it even offline, because we see it in supermarkets and things, and shops giving out discount cards, or loyalty cards. It's the same thing. It's building subscriber bases, giving people a reason to come back to you. And that's very much the case of what we do with all our businesses online as well. You know, we see people who are SEO experts or graphic designers or whatever, but they'll have a subscriber base. It's the same thing. And that narrows all the way down to affiliate marketers and stuff like that. Now, what's changed, I think, in the last few years, of course, there are other ways of making lists now and attracting people to your subscriber bases. But email marketing itself has changed, of course, because now people are much more, well, they're bombarded by emails, aren't they, today? We all belong to so many lists. And I think so in the make sort of money niche, that's even more so. So they're kind of used to this barrage of information. And so now today, I think the good guy comes through a little bit more. I mean, the churn and burn must be much. I've never done that, but I guess that's harder to do these days. I think it is the time of the good guy. I think, you know, if you're honest and you've got some integrity and you, you know, you're offering value, I think now is the time to shine on that because people are fed up with all the hype and stuff. So email marketing has changed.
Just saying, Andy, what a great point. The average North American's getting 150 emails a day. And that's not talking about those of us in this business that are probably signed up for a bunch of lists. I'm sure people are getting twice that.
Yeah, it's immense, isn't it? And I think at the end of the day, the key to all of this now is to be able to build that relationship up with your subscribers. And people are people. They're not just numbers in a list, as we all know. And I know that, you know, you guys know all this, but there will be people that are coming into this now that will be fixated on the numbers side of list building and not the relationship side of it. And it's more important than ever, I think, that, you know, we make those connections. And I think it starts right from the word go. If we go down an average sort of like sales funnel, or an average, you know, most people give a product away these days. Of course, you can do it through a buyer's thing as well, but most people do give a product away on what we call a landing page or a squeeze page. And but this is where it should start straight from the word go. You always get in your autoresponder a chance to sort of get that connection by directing people to a custom-built thank you page. This could be a page on a blog or something, really, it's kept private. And this is where you can get an intro into people, you know, give your first intro, introduce yourself, just get that connection going right from the word go. And of course, today more than ever, important to train people to go and open their emails. And I always do this by having a little, just after I've done an intro and put my ugly mug just there on the page, you know, just to say, hi, it's me and I'm a real person and not just somebody hiding behind something. I always have a little passage that just says underneath, you know, thank you for wanting to subscribe, blah, 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 all the rest of it, and whatever the gift is they're getting. And look for that in your first email. I always put the link in the first email. It's a bit old hat, really. I mean, I've done that for years, but I think today it's more important than ever because you're getting all these barrage of emails coming to their inbox, but you want them to deliberately go and get it. Otherwise, they're lost. You know, 3 or 4 days from now, they don't know who you are.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's important to get those people to go and open the email because psychologically, once someone's gone and opened your email, they've already connected with you to a certain degree.
Yeah.
And at the bottom of that, I try and make the first sale as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of important that way. Now, some of the other methods that I have done recently has been, say recently in the last year or so, has been to, we've all recognized the sort of, the quality of a buyer compared with someone seeking on a freebie. You know, there's lots of giveaway events everywhere. We've recently just done one, funny enough, just to sort of get our feet wet in the self-improvement niche, and it wasn't that successful. Giveaway events are usually, they can be very good or they can be very bad. I expect we're all aware of how many there are out there. But of course, it's the usual freebie seeking people, so that, you know, they're downloading lots of products and maybe not that interested in yours because they're sort of, you know, doing it in bulk, so to speak. But what I find is so these subscribers are weaker than, say, someone who's come in and bought something. You know, a buyer is obviously clearly psychologically able, you know, prepared to go in and dip into their pocket and they've committed themselves in a way. A buyer is always going to be stronger than somebody who's just come through the free sort of report method. Sorry, it's microphone slipping in. I found that approaching other people in my niche who were selling products that were similar to something that I had was a great way of building a little buyer's niche without actually selling it, buyer's list without actually selling something. And that was, I would go to some sites like muncheye.com. I think Chris Munch is the guy that runs that. I don't know if you're kind of aware of him or not. And there are several others. We could leave a link to that, so or blog or something. And what would happen is, these sites, for those that don't know, are putting out information about up-and-coming launches. And for the most part, the people who join in on those.
Still with us, Andy?
I started losing connection as well.
Yeah, there we go.
I've got someone jumping over here. Do we know what that is?
I don't hear anyone.
No.
Oh, yeah, I'm back. Are we on?
Yeah, we're back.
I had someone coming over the top here. Did you get that?
No.
No.
Oh, that was kind of weird. That was like a double blab going on. I swear I live in some sort of twilight zone sometimes. I do. That's gone anyway. So someone's going on about an iPad or something. Perhaps I've won something. You never know. Yeah. Anyway, so I've been sort of I've tried this method, and I don't know if any of you guys do this, but
Yeah.
approaching that's nice to hear. Yeah. Approaching someone who's got something within your niche, very targeted, something it's clearly going to be linked to something you already have, and that can be just an ordinary report or something, a giveaway that you'd normally do as a giveaway, and this time asking them if they would want to give that as a bonus. And of course, most people probably, I would say, sort of you get 1 in 6 hits out of this sort of kind of range, really. But if it's really targeted, it's going to help the guy because it's extra value. The proprietor himself is giving away something extra, and of course they will sign up to get it, and that's where you get the email address. So now you've got a proven buyer on your list, and I do like that method. I think it's
Mark just did that yesterday for us. Mark, you want to talk about what you did?
Well, yeah, I mean, indirectly, Andy, great. We basically had a software kicking around that we'd had developed. We haven't been doing much with it, and I knew a couple product creators, and we slapped it on something they did as a bonus, just to add some value. And we actually we didn't even really push the whole first up list generation. We were doing it without even an opt-in to get in. But further down the page, we had a more targeted opt-in for people that if you're really looking for further information on this specific category, you can get it here. And just in that alone, we got, what'd you say, Shane, over 100 opt-ins just from people.
We have 140 opt-ins, and then we put a small video sales later, OTO, and then that converted about 10%. So
and the key to
wasn't
that,
necessarily cold traffic, but we do the download spots on on buyers pages also. That's how we keep our list active in between launches personally.
And I think that if people haven't heard of that method, it's a very powerful method. And the point being, of course, that 100 and 140, I think you said, they're all buyers, aren't they? And so immensely more powerful.
Yeah, and then we're able to convert, 10 of those buyers. We move them up the ladder. So now they go in from us trying to convert them into a buyer. Now they're in a higher chain where they get, different offers. So Kevin asked, what is a buyer's page? So Kevin, if we sell a product and then where that person downloads the product, then we'll put bonuses beneath that. So it's the download page. So I think that's what Andy's talking about. That's real valuable piece of real estate. You can do this in any niche. It doesn't have to be make money online. If I'm in the health niche or paleo, then I just search paleo products and then just simply, email them, say, hey, I see you have a product on paleo. I have a great one here I'd like to offer as a bonus. And then like he says, it's about a 20% acceptance rate. But the time investment is for the return is great. It doesn't cost you any money. You're getting fresh buyers onto your list, and it's evergreen. Especially if you get out of the launch categories where you have people that are selling, evergreen products that aren't just a launch. We're only selling for a couple of weeks, so you can get, traffic coming onto your list, and then you multiply that. You get out there in 10, 20 download pages, and then you have buyers onto your list every single day that, you're not working for. It's a new audience to you. They've already been qualified as a buyer, so it's popular.
I think it works better.
That we're losing Andy.
Yeah, just while we're getting Andy back on.
It's harder to.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, we lost him.
The transfer for this too, as Andy was hinting at earlier, that this can work offline, and you see it every day. Like, I mean, if you ever go to a nice department store or whatever, and they give you like that little, maybe even like a postcard or something at the end with your purchase, it's a bit of an advertisement for their store as a buyer. Very often you'll see some cross marketing on there, which is terrific. You'll see check out this offer from, or check out this offer from such and such business. And that's, so this sort of cross marketing to build lists, it's not an internet marketing invention. It's been going on for, hundreds of years. And you can capitalize on this. You're only limited by your creativity and how you build a list.
Can't see anybody else now.
Yeah, we did this in our, I used to have pizza places, and we did this on our top of our pizza boxes. We would swap with other businesses. So they would put our coupons in their to-go bags, and then we would tape one of their coupons on top of our pizza box. So it can be used anywhere. It's the same theory, just brought online.
Absolutely, Shane. Huge in restaurants. Huge. Yeah. Everybody's seen it, even if they haven't really noticed what it was for. It's like they just look at it and go, oh, hey, look at this. It's $5 off this place. I'll try that. Bang. Yeah. New customer for another business.
I think to bring up some of what Andy was talking about earlier, there's so much competition in the email inbox. I know a few people said, Leanne says she gets a ton of emails. Tracy was up to 600 in a day.
Wow.
That's nuts, Tracy. So, Tracy with 600 in a day, I mean, what makes you open an email if you get 600 in a day? Well, we do stuff to stand out. When they first come onto our list, they get a 3-day series where we're just adding content. Say, hey, over the next 3 days, we're going to show you a lot of cool stuff. And we give them day 1 video. Then we make sure we tell them, come on back. Make sure you look out for email 2. Make sure you look out for email 3. So we try to keep that chain going in the emails to stand out a little bit. Content that enlightens and informs, shows values, rather than just endless promo links. Yeah.
Great point, Tracy. Great point. Like, you can do anything you want to stand out in the inbox with a subject line, but the proof's in the pudding. Like, what is the reason I have for opening up your next email? And that's such an amazing point. So many people just try to hit them hard right off the bat, whereas if you're showing that you actually care about the person behind the email address, you tend to do better long term.
Yeah, Tracy, I'm in the same boat as you. There's only a few people now that I look forward to their emails and read. Same way, because I know content that's going to help me out, shows value. And then when it does come time to buy, those type of marketers are being rewarded now. It's not like it was 2 years ago where you could just hammer away at the promos. So Kevin's got a question here. Is there a ranked order of real estate pages that are more valuable to target?
Yeah, I'm back.
Yeah, Kevin, I mean, if you're going to take the theory of the getting on download pages, you're just looking for people that are already selling products, that are related to yours. So, I mean, there wouldn't be anything ranked. I mean, just go through Google, the first 2 pages, look for people that are actively selling, have a list, have an email opt-in form, and that's who we went after. Mark found somebody that has a large list, offered them up with this as a bonus. They said sure, because they're adding value to their subscribers. And we got value out of the back end. But you want to be on the download page of a paid product. So if you want to read we asked Tracy gets 600 emails a day, Andy, and we asked her, what makes those, how do you decide what emails to open? And she went into kind of what we were talking about, the people that add value, the people that, enlighten her, entertain her. And then, of course, those are the marketers that get rewarded when does come time to buy.
And that's pretty much what I was trying to say earlier on, really, to be honest. Hi, Tracy, by the way. It's the fact that, this day and age, we need to get those connections, probably need to offer value, etc. And it's in people are getting multiple hits every day like this, so are not going to see that and, just to connect with you. So it's more important than ever to build that kind of relationship up. And I do this a lot through, slightly bending away from exactly what you were talking about, but I do this a lot through using social media today. I build a connection before people jump onto my list. So rather than just coming through as a stranger, and then I build a connection up as best I can with those that are coming through, and then those that connect and those that get you. Because now I'm kind of bringing people in a way that what I do, I connections through Facebook, very big, and fan pages. I run my own groups, which are a driving group called the New China, and I build up connections that way, and then I have a promotion thread within to keep spam away, and so I'm able to get my message across as who I am, and I'm a no hype guy, and I'm sort of kind of honest and all the rest of it, and that and people that connect with you that way, who get you, and some people are going to come along and just not like anything you say. That's the way life is. But the right people, the right customers are there. And those are the people that I can joint venture with. They're the people that I can sell products to because they're happy to buy off me because they know me already. They're the people that will come onto my list when I put something up. And so I think that the value of being able to build a connection before people get on your list is very strong and easy to do through social media. And of course you can do this by spreading that traffic around as well, because you can swirl everything from a fan page to a blog, from a blog to the various other social media sites that there are. And of course you can throw a landing page in there every now and again. And those that have, already got your message are going to go on there much easier. Building the connection before they're on your list.
Yeah,
it's a great way of doing
our most valuable subscribers come from our blog. We can track the profits. So people that have already known our content, they read it, they like it, then they want to opt in. Even Facebook does this. It's cheaper to promote content than it is to promote an opt-in form. So they know that they're pushing people that, so you're providing value and content to their readers. It's much cheaper for us to promote content, paid than it is, straight opt-in forms. So it's definitely moving in that direction.
And of course you can also swirl that traffic around, because an email can be shared somewhere else, and a blog post can be shared on, and it's not the same people in a fan page. It will be the same people that visit your blog regularly. So by killing two birds with one stone, if you want, you can swirl this traffic about, and then you're picking up subscribers and getting people interested in what they weren't interested in before, or what they hadn't known about before. So again,
now Andy, with your products and your coaching, how do you teach students to take a freebie opt-in subscriber and convert them into a buyer?
Again, it's just about building the relationship up. It's I would be telling people exactly what I'm talking about now, to be honest. A lot of my coaching methods, although it'll be slightly different now, I've moved into self-improvement, although I'll still be spending 20% of my time back on my old subscriber base, would be if someone comes to me for coaching and they're completely sort of new, straight fresh into the arena, so to speak, then I will be talking very heavily about connections and about why they want to do what they want to do, but that's slightly off topic. And it will be down that lines of trying to sell from the word go, making products available from the word go without actually trying to push stuff. So get that connection where people understand you, see you as a real person. Out of every percentage, there's going to be a small percentage of people that will never like you. They're not your customers, so we don't worry about that. We only concern ourselves with the people we really can connect to. And if we're doing that via email, then it's about just giving, I tend to I don't think there's any golden rule about emails, about how many you should put out a week. I really don't. I think it's about what you want to do and how you train your list to like that. You know, people like you, they'll accept what you do. I mean, there's a too many and there's a too little, isn't there? I mean, somewhere in the middle, everything's okay. I think 3 or 4 emails a week is fine. Different niches would require different things, but I would, in the beginning, I would try and, as a bonus, give something like a 5-day course of some description or something, just so you've got that flow going and the connections there. I do a lot of video, so I like people to come off and see me on video, so I can just be me like this, you know, and there's not hiding anything. I don't do lots of fancy editing, and I think that that's a good way of doing things. We all got our own methods, but personally, the reason I do that is because I like people seeing the real me. And I kind of train people to do that as well, coach people to do that as well. To become themselves, not hide behind anything. Just be, it does depend on the niche, you know. I mean, if you're in the embarrassing niche section, perhaps you don't want to be quite so much, but it's, you know, I can think of a few that perhaps you might want to hide behind a screen, but generally speaking, about being yourself. And I think that that is a very, very powerful thing to do right from the word go. And also not to be worried about selling. I've met so many people. You put emails up, and you talk to them 6 months, and they've got an email list of 800 or 900 people, or a little bit more, you know, so they're doing well. And they haven't sold anything because they've been frightened to sell. I mean, people do understand if you tell them when they join your email list what you're doing. This is your business, and you give a lot of good information away. You give a lot of value to people, but you're also going to be putting your products or someone else's products in front of them. And if people know, you know, like and trust you, you've all read that one, you know, they understand that. So, you know, it's kind of imperative, very important to put across to people that, you know, you have to sell things, you make a living, we've got to pay our bills. It'd be surprising the amount of people, you know, are frightened to do that. That's one of the first things I do is say, you know, don't be frightened to start selling. In fact, it starts from the thank you page, to be honest. So I think that's something I always do push in the early stages of coaching.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Lori asked about safe lists, and Mark, you summed it up pretty good there. Yeah, diluted and unresponsive, but I mean, if you are going to go that route, you know, then you have to make sure that you have what Andy's talking about, where you have content set up and you have something that's going to separate you from the audience, because these are people that are on, you know, lists that are just being sold every day. So they're getting bombarded. So you really do need to make sure that content stands out. But I wouldn't go and spend any sort of money on a safe list.
Nope.
Yeah, your back's up against the wall with that type of prospect base before you even get started. So it really
Kevin's asking, what is it?
really tricky to warm that type of list up. Going back to what Andy said earlier, which I thought was an exceptional point and worthy of repeating, is it doesn't really matter the format or the polish of the content that you're delivering. The key is, Andy, correct me if I'm wrong, I think the key here is that you've developed that relationship to the point where people are looking forward to hearing what you have to share next.
Yeah, definitely. So you've nailed it completely, Mark. I just think it's more important today than ever to create that real you and the real connection. I think the old days are, I don't know, I mean, there are still guys burning and churning out there, I guess. Never was for me, because it just wasn't my cup of tea. But I just think that the whole ethics of being you, being real, and the right people following you, because they're so much more important than just people that you can grab who are just trying to grab free stuff here and there. That's not to say you can't attract people in with free stuff. I mean, everyone should be trying a multitude of things, but for me it works very well creating fan pages. I guess there are niches where that wouldn't work so well, but creating fan pages, it's even like transformative thought. It's only just been launched in January, and we're growing rapidly. We've got 2 products out already, you know, so things are moving on, and we're creating everything ourselves. But even that, it's got a fan page behind it, and we're pushing people through the fan page and on, you know, and occasionally dropping in links to this time a free report we got, which is backed up by some video. But it's easier, of course, in a way, because Facebook ads do love to drive internal traffic, clearly, because it's not going off their site. So advertising your fan page is cheaper than what it is to advertise off. So it's another great way of building audience up with a reasonable cost. And if people get to know you within that, they're much keener to come and open your material, and it's much easier to get them to come along and subscribe. They already trust you. And I think once you get away from the internet marketing, the make money niche, I think at the end of the day, it's slightly easier to get people onto your subscriber base because they're not marketed to quite so heavy, or there will be other niches that they are. But nevertheless, that knowledge that they recognize the face and they've talked to you already makes it so much easier. And it's better for them as well. And they become buyers quicker that way because they see value in what you're doing. So I think it's, I think you nailed it on the head, Mark. That's exactly what I tried to say. So.
Andy, I remember a while back you had been running a bunch of YouTube list building campaigns. How did those work out? Did those end up profitable?
Yes, if I remember correctly from what I've done several things like that, so I'm not quite sure what that was. That particular one was about. Do you mean the YouTube channels that I created?
Yeah, and I remember you were doing training as well for using YouTube.
I created some products like that, yeah. I would say semi-successful because I never pushed it beyond a certain... I created some subscriber bases in some different niches, and really I wanted to test the ground because I wanted the product to have some kind of backing so that I could prove, that it worked. But I didn't go off and create massive lists behind it, but I did see success in it. It clearly would work, and I've thought of several ways in which that could be a lot better now as well. But unfortunately, we only have so much time, and I think 80% of my time will be in transformative thought this year, and so we can't do everything, can we?
Yeah, Andy, you want to put the links to your two websites so people can check you out, get more info, or find you?
Yeah, just in the text box somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, drop it in the message.
I will quickly mention, if you don't mind me doing a sort of available in all fine bookstores type comment.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
I do have, although I'm moving away from the make money niche and I'm moving away from coaching in that, I will be coaching in self-improvement at some point. But I do still have a program out there called the Super Accelerator program. I'll put a link up to that in a minute. And that's basically it is what it says. It's live one-to-one Skype sessions. It all happens in a month. Platform built for people, so it's great for newbies. It's great for someone coming in who's maybe not got the tech knowledge. So the platform will be built for them. They'll get the squeeze page up. The copy will be done on it and everything. Thank you page all sorted, everything like that. And 5 sessions of coaching. And that goes out at $497, which is way cheaper than what I should have been doing it really. But I've still got some spots left on that, and I'm closing that sometime in March, depending on how many people I've got on board. And then to concentrate on transformative thought. So I'll leave a link up to that because there are a few spots left, and I think it's a great. Within 1 month, someone can have a business and it's running. And it'll be targeted. It'll be targeted to that person. So each course will be slightly different, of course, but it will be running down the fundamentals of subscriber base, etc. So that's what's going now, but everything else will be through mindset stuff, through transformative thought. I will leave a link to those things. Yeah. Did you say something about they don't show on the replays or something? Show someone my transformative.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to drop your links there, Andy. We try to keep it a half hour. Sorry that the audio quality was so bad, but if anybody has any more questions, please put them up, and then we'll post a replay on our blog at im-rebels.com, and then you can catch the other replays that we did on copywriting 2 weeks ago and then email marketing last week. But definitely check out Andy's.
Which I can't put up at the moment because my cursor's frozen now. So.
We'll make sure. We'll make sure, Andy, those links are put up on
today, guys, aren't they? It's just
yeah, today is not the good day for Blab. So there's one of Andy's sites there, transformative thought. There we go.
Yeah, and my Digi Warrior site is really just it's just my marketing blog. But that has got my my Super Accelerator program is in that. Someone looks on digiwarrior.com, they will see a page where it's my ugly face is there again, trying to tell them and convince them to join me.
Well, we'll make sure those links are up on the replay as well as on our
Thanks,
blog
guys.
post, Andy, just in case anybody missed them here.
All right.
Well, thanks
Thanks,
Thanks very much for that.
Yeah. Thanks, Andy, for joining us today. Thanks,
That's
everyone.
been a pleasure. It's been fun. Apart from, being in the twilight zone, it's been fun.
Really
What time
appreciate
is
your
it there
time,
in
Andy.
Spain? Are you overnight now?
Sorry?
What time are you in Spain right now?
It's 20 to 6 in the evening. Just approaching evening. Oh, no, it's a good time.
All right. Yeah,
I
Brian's the
think
one.
we're on 6 hours. I mean, I talk to Tracy a lot, so Tracy's my girlfriend. She's on there somewhere. So I know she's just outside of New York, so that's 6 hours. That's Eastern, so that's Eastern. What you're on now, guys, is it?
Yeah, Mark and I are in Eastern, and then Brian is on whatever Cambodia time's called.
Yeah, I'm, +7.
I love this
UTC.
platform. I do. I think Blab has got a great future.
Yeah, we see more people moving over
almost
to it.
12
It's fun.
I just think it's very simple to use. It's great for people listening in as well. It seems to work well all ways. I think it needs to be on Firefox and all the rest of it as well, but it has problems everywhere else. It's still in beta mode, isn't it? So
Yeah, they'll figure out how to put ads over all of our faces soon.
yeah, it will be there. What we've got to do is to figure out how to put ads up there.
Yeah, we'll be the guys selling those ads.
Exactly.
Yeah, beta just means all the venture capital companies haven't come in yet, but that won't be long.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Now, Twitter seemed to have a massive interest in it, so there's a link and connection there somewhere, isn't there? Got to
Yeah,
be.
Twitter invested in it somehow. They must have. Otherwise, it'd be a Facebook login instead of a Twitter
Yeah,
login.
exactly. As you knew straight away, didn't you? That it was.
Yeah.
We'll see that develop. I think we don't need to be sort of prophets here, do we? But we can see what's going to happen.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Thanks very much, and then we'll see you next week at Thursday, 11 o'clock too. We'll send out notices, and then check out the blog for the post, and then we'll put up Andy's links up there in the blog post later today also. Then we'll shoot you a recording, Andy, also, so you can do what you will with it.
Excellent.
All right. Talk to you later, man.
Nice to meet you guys. Anyway, nice to chat to everyone else. Bye-bye.
All right, bye, guys.
All right. Take care. Bye.